Assalamualaikum to Madam Nur Shafinas. We from Group 7 would like to present about MFRS 8 and MFRS 134. The company that we have chosen is Salutica Berhad. I am Hazrin Ashraf bin Mohammed as an executive accountant. Without further ado, let's start with the company background. Salutica Berhad is a public limited company that lists in main market on Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad. The principal activities of the company is that of investment holding. The company was incorporated in Malaysia on 19 November 2012 as a private limited company under the name of Blue Ocean Genius Sdn Berhad. On 29 June 2015, they changed their name to Salutica Sdn Berhad, and subsequently, on 4 November 2015, they become a public limited company. Salutica Berhad, through its 100% wholly owned subsidiary Salutica Allied Solutions Sdn Berhad, is a Malaysian vertically integrated electronics manufacturing company headquartered in city of Ipoh, Perak, with its history starting way back in 1990. Salutica specializes in designing, developing, and manufacturing consumer and business electronic product development like Bluetooth stereo headsets, smartwatch, and precision light guides for optical touch screen time. Salutica is primarily an original design manufacturer, and its clients include major American, European, and Japanese electronic and information technology company. Salutica has successfully launched a series of patent-pending products under its own brand FOBO. FOBO is an acronym for Our Better World. FOBO products such as the world's first all-Bluetooth smart TPMS FOBO Tire and FOBO Bike, FOBO Tax or Max, are designed to enhance ways of living and to help preserve the environment. Developed and manufactured by Salutica, FOBO products are being sold in 28 countries across Europe, Americas, Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Oceania.
Hi, I'm Nadira, and I'll be explaining the management approach in Salutica Berhad. There are three management approaches in Salutica Berhad, which are the type of segments, and also the identified chief of decision maker and its responsibility, and also the process of identify reportable and non-reportable segment. Let's moving forward to the next slide. For this slide, we'll be explained to the type of segments in Salutica Berhad. The first one is business segment, and the second is geographical segments. For business segments is engaged in providing an individual products and services such as design, surface treatment, engineering, assembly, quality assurance, supply chain, and also the management technology. This business segment will be explained in detail to the next slide. Another one is a geographical segment. It's located in Malaysia. However, for the good exports are to America, Europe, Australia, and Africa. Move to the next slide will be explained to the business segments. There are several business segments in Salutica Berhad. The first one is a manufacturing consumer, integrated manufacturing, and also the business electronic product, developing and also designing. For this slide, will be explained for the Chief of Decision Making CODM and its responsibility. Let's introduce our Managing Director is Joshua Lim Pan Ye, is our Managing Director. Chief of Decision Making CODM and its responsibility. As a Chief of Decision Making, need to identify a function and also need to be responsible for allocate resources and also evaluate performance. As a decision making, these are the list of chief decision making in Salutica Berhad. Okay, the first one is Joshua Lim Pan Yi, is our Managing Director or CEO in Salutica Berhad. and Chia Chi Hong is a chairman, independent, non-executive director. Lim Chong Shi is a senior executive director. However, the Long Teng Loong is senior independent non-executive director. For Liu Chang Kiang is independent non-executive director, same as Lu Teng Loong. Also, Chan Shuk Ling is executive director and chief financial officer. However, the alternative director is a Jo Lim Pang Hong. These are the list of chief decision making in Salutica Berhad. For this slide, we will explain the reporting segment and non-reportable segment. For reportable segments, only operating segments identified as reportable segments, and also non-reportable segments will combine and disclose under all sections category. There are three bases in the segments. The first one is the profit and loss basis. The second one is asset basis, and the third one is a revenue basis. For profit and loss basis, is a segment's reported profit or loss must have 10% or more than the have combined profit and loss order of all profitable segments operating. On this slide, we will explain the process of identify reportable and non-reportable segment. The first one is identify all operating segments. Second one is evaluate operating segments for aggregation. The third is 10% threshold test. The fourth is evaluate operating segment for aggregation. The fifth is 75% threshold test. And the sixth is aggregate remaining operating segment. Process of identity reportable and non-reportable segments. The first step is identify all operating segments. As we know, an operating segment is a component of an entity. It engages a business activity from which may earn revenue and incur expenses. However, its result regularly reviewed by the CODM, which is Chief of Decision Maker. Furthermore, it discloses a financial information available. Aggregation is similar operating segment criteria, such as a similar long-term performance, similar economic characteristic, similar in nature of products or services, nature of productions and process, a type of class of customers, and the method of distribute their products and services. The third one is 10% threshold test. As a quantitative threshold, is incurred a revenue, results, and profit, and also asset. Three of them are required 10% of segmental report and 10% of non-segmental report. This threshold test will be explained in the next slide.
Hi, I am Nur Intajira and will continue the process of identifying reportable and non-reportable segment, which is evaluate operating segment for aggregation. Look at the remaining operating segment, those that did not qualify under any of the 10% tests, to see if any are economically similar. Next process of identify reportable and non-reportable segment is 75 threshold test. 75 threshold test is ensure that the total external revenue is at least 75% of the entity's total revenue. When the 75% threshold is not met, additional reportable segment should be identified. And the last process of identifying reportable and non-reportable segment is aggregate remaining operating segment. The information for all other segments is aggregate into an all other category. The only requirement for this all other category is that the sources of the revenue should be described as part of the disclosure.
Next is operating segment. This company only have one operating segment qualified as reporting segment under MFRS 8. The basis measurement of reported statement profit or loss, statement asset and liability are consistent with the basis used for statement of comprehensive and statement of financial statement. The component of the statement asset and liabilities include classes of asset and liabilities disclosed in the statement of financial position. For 10% of threshold test, only America and Europe are qualified as reportable statement, since this statement have exceeded the 10% of threshold test, and the rest is not qualified as a reportable statement because it does not exceed the 10% of threshold test. Next is for the 75% threshold test. The total amount adds up to more than 75%, which is the company get 83.37%. The statement selected will continue to be reportable statement. Therefore, additional reportable statement will not be needed. This is new segment report.
There are three advantages of segment reporting. First, it provides better understanding of the financial report. If a business shows much higher earnings than expected, segment reporting shows where those earnings are coming from. A stakeholder can look at the same report to determine if the numbers are sustainable. The profit-making and loss-making units can be easily identified with the help of the segmental reporting. Second, lower cost of capital. And lastly is transparency. Analysis, potential investors, and other stakeholders need complete information to evaluate a company's sustainability and growth and monitor its management's performance. Moving next is disadvantages of segment reporting. First is data manipulation. Segment data is used for data manipulation if the information is published through management eye style. Second, data can be misinterpreted by investors or creditors. Third, based on segmentation. Basic problem which arises in segment reporting is division of a diverse company for segment reporting purposes. Every base of segmentation may create segments differently. Identification of segmentation is also problematic. Segmentation can be done on the basis of organizational division. For example, industry, market, product. Each base has its own limitation and own problem.
Next, we will continue the presentation for interim reporting, which is MFRS 124. Generally, basic operation of interim reporting can be divided into two methods, which are integral method and discrete method. An integral method is a fraction of the annual report. Meanwhile, discrete method is a separate period. Salutica Berhad basis of preparation of the interim reporting is and the unaudited semi-annually report has been prepared in accordance with the reporting requirement as set out in National Financial Reporting Standard MFRS 124 during financial reporting. Paragraph 9 to 2 and Appendix 9B of the Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad main market listing requirement and should be read in conjunction with audited financial statement for the financial year ended 30 June 2022.
Now, we're going to have a look at the company accounting policies. First is MFRS 116, Property, Plant and Equipment. Number 1, all items of property, plant and equipment of Salutica Berhad are measured at cost. Cost includes expenditures that are directly attributable to the acquisitions of the asset and the other costs directly attributable to bringing the asset to working condition for its intended use. Second, the carrying amount of parts that are replaced is de-recognized. Subsequent costs are included in the asset's carrying amount or recognized as a separate asset as appropriate only when the cost is incurred and it's probable that the future economic benefits associated with the asset will flow to the company and the cost of the asset can be measured reliably. The cost of the day-to-day servicing of property, plant, and equipment are recognized in profit or loss as incurred. Third, depreciation for PPE is based on straight-line method to write off the depreciable amount of the asset over the estimated useful life. Depreciation of an asset does not cease when the asset becomes idle or is retired from active use unless the asset is fully depreciated. Therefore, an item of property, plant, and equipment is de-recognized upon disposal or when no future economic benefits are expected from its use. The depreciation method, useful life, and residual values are reviewed and adjusted if appropriate and at the end of each reporting period to ensure that the amounts, method, and periods of depreciation are consistent with previous estimates and the expected pattern of consumption of the future economic benefits embodied in the items of the property, plant, and equipment. Any changes are accounted as a change in estimate. When significant parts of an item of property, plant, and equipment have different useful lives, they are accounted for as separate items of property, plant, and equipment. An item of property, plant, and equipment is de-recognized upon disposal or when no future economic benefits are expected from its use. Any gain or loss arising from the de-recognition of the asset being the difference between the net disposal proceeds and the carrying amount is de-recognized in profit or loss. The second accounting policies that the Salutica Berhad use is MFRS 138, Intangible Assets. There are two intangible assets of Salutica Berhad. First is patents. Separately acquired patents are shown at historical cost. Patents have a finite useful life and are carried at cost less accumulated amortization and accumulated losses, if any. Amortization is calculated using the straight-line method to allocate the cost of patents over the estimated useful lives of 20 years. Second is golf club memberships. Golf club memberships are the rights to use golf clubs and are transferable. They are stated at cost, less accumulated amortization, and accumulated impairment losses, if any. These golf club memberships are amortized on a straight line basis over the terms of membership, which expire in year 2090 and 2093 respectively.
Next, we will continue to a type of interim report. Interim report have three types of interim report, which is first quarterly, second bi-monthly, three semi-annually. Quarterly is issued 4 times a year, which means 3 quarters. Secondly, bi-monthly issued 6 times a year by the company, and semi-annually issued twice by the company. Salutica Berhad report the financial statement every 6 months, which is twice a year.
Next, we're going to look at period for the current and comparative of each statement prepared by Salutica Berhad. The first statement is statement of financial position. For the current year, it is ended at 30th June 2022. For the basis period is from 1st July 2021 until 30th June 2022. And the comparative statement is ended at 30th June 2021. The basis period is from 1st July 2020 until 30th June 2021. The second statement is statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. It is ended at 30th June 2022. The basis is from 1st July 2021 until 30th June 2022. For the comparative is ended at 30th June 2021, and the basis period is from 1st July 2020 until 30th June 2021. The third statement is statement of changes in equity. It is ended at 30th June 2022. The basis period is from 1st July 2021 until 30th June 2022. For the comparative statement, it is from 30th June 2021. For the basis period is from 1st July 2020 until 30th June 2021. And the last statement of cash flow. For the current year is ended at 30th June 2022. It is from 1st July 2021 until 30th June 2022, while the comparative statement of cash flow we use is ended at 30th June 2021. The basis period is from 1st July 2020 until 30th June 2021.
Adjustment number 1. On the 18th August 2021, the company announced the issuance and listing of 38,500,000 new ordinary shares at an issuance price of 56 cents per ordinary share pursuant to the private placement, which further increased the number of ordinary shares inclusive of 3 million treasury shares from 388 million to 426,500,000, and the share capital from 91,802,388 ringgit to 118,362,388 ringgit. The ordinary share have no par value. For the adjustment number 2, on the August 2021, the company resold its treasury shares, totaling 10,000 shares from its repurchase share capital in the open market at a price of 71 cents per share. The total consideration received was 7,100 ringgit. The shares resale are offset against the existing treasury share. Of the total 984,000 at the 2021, 991,000 issued and fully paid up ordinary share. At the end of the reporting period, 3 million ordinary share. In the 2021, 3,010,000 ordinary share are held as treasury share by the company. Here we can see the extract of the financial position at 30 June 2022. At the year of 2022, after the adjustment was being met, the number of the ordinary share increased, inclusive of 3 million treasury shares from 388 million to 426,500,000, and the share capital from 91,802,388 ringgit to 118,362,368 ringgit.